What's going on, YouTube? If you come across this video and you like the discussion in which I am having, comment, engage with your man. If you wish to, follow along, subscribe to the channel. This is Vernacular TV, being blunt and sparking conversation. Sparking conversation. President Donald J. Trump, the president of peace, has just bombed 3 of the Iranian nuclear facilities, as reported by the Associated Press. He bombed the facility of Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan, all 3 facilities, dropping a 30,000-pound bunker buster bombs on these facilities. The type of damages that was done is not known. The Iranian hasn't released any information. But however, Trump believed that this package of bombing was very successful. And now he is advocating Iran come back to the table for peace talk and negotiation. As we know, it's been going on for nearly 9 days. Israel bombed Iran also, bombed its nuclear facilities, killing key nuclear scientists, key members of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. And Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has been advocating that the United States take out the head of the snake in Iran for a long period of time. Finally, the United States is involved with this war with the Israeli against the Iranian and the Iranian proxies. Israel has been complaining that Iran posed an existential threat to Israel, with Iranian proxy within the region, whether it was Syria. However, Bashar Assad just fell in Syria, so the Israeli is making gains in Syria. Hezbollah, Israel killed a lot of the Hezbollah commanders, set Hezbollah back a little while in its military development. Also fighting the Houthis in Yemen. So you got the Houthis, you got militia in Iraq, you got the Palestinian resistance group of Gaza, and you got Hezbollah in Lebanon. We had Syria, Bashar Assad. However, Assad fell. Israel has been facing Iranian proxies in that region because Iranian proxies act as a buffer not to have direct conflict with Israel or the United States. However, everything is out the window. Israel attacked Iran nuclear facilities, killed their scientists, killed their Revolutionary Guard, even advocating killing the religious leader of Ayatollah Khamenei. We have seen the Iraq barrage of intercontinental ballistic missiles detonated in Israel, in Dimona, in Haifa, in Tel Aviv. The Iran been damaging the Israeli real bad, and the Israeli could not withstand this attack. They had to come and ask the United States for its military might. The United States and Iran is an opposition, but you have to understand this is historical. I would drop back all the way to 1953. In 1953, a democratic elected government in Iran with Mossadegh, Mohammad Mossadegh. Mossadegh was in power. He decided that he was going to nationalize the Iranian oil wealth. And he kicked out the United States and the British. The United States and the British never forgot that. Mossadegh was overthrown by the Central Intelligence Agencies and all the other Western intelligence apparatus contributed to overthrowing Mossadegh. Mossadegh was overthrown. The Shah was installed back into power. The Shah ruled Iran until 1979, when the Iranian Revolution took place. When the Iranian Revolution took place, the current leadership that is in power established a theocracy. The Iranian Revolution brought usher in this new form of government, a theocracy, a religious government. They kicked the United States out. They held the U.S. personnel in the Iranian embassy at the time as hostage. And ever since then, this conflict between the United States and Iran has been brewing, and Israel has been brewing. Israel feel that Iran, since 1979, believed that the state of Israel should not exist, and that Iran is posing an existential threat to Israel. All the Allied powers supported Saddam Hussein in his 8-year war against the Iranians, killed over 1 million Iranians. However, Iran came out of the Iraq-Iran war stronger. They have been developing the technology, the indigenous technology, for so long, creating all kinds of missiles, submarine, drones. Iran at this current time is a military power. And Iran is not like Afghanistan. Iran is not like Libya. Iran is not Gaza. Iran is not Iraq, as they show with their barrage of missiles. Israel could not defend itself against Iran, so they had to call in the United States. I knew that President Donald J. Trump has been chosen by his donor as the man that is going to overthrow the Iranian regime. I have always known that. In President Trump's first term, he assassinated the Iranian general, not in the theater of war, but when he was moving throughout Iraq as a civilian. Trump assassinated him. You understand? He assassinated that general. That general holds a dear heart to Iran and the revolution. A dear heart to the Iranian people, to the Iraqi people. General Soleimani, Hassan Soleimani, was assassinated by Trump. Trump has always had the aim, he and his son-in-law and Benjamin Netanyahu, they have always had the aim to confront Iran. Anand Pompeo, Secretary of State, the sanction, they have been sanctioning Iran so hard. Trump withdrew from the JCPOA, the Joint Comprehensive Plans of Action, to curb the Iranian nuclear facility or nuclear ambitions. Ever since Trump withdrew from the JCPOA, Iranian's government has been enriching uranium at a very high level. Now Trump has bombed Iran, sent shock to the Iranian people. It's a dangerous times that we are in. But if you look at the timeline since 53 up to 1979, from 1953 to 79, when the Shah was disposed in Iran and the Ayatollah and the Islamic religious fundamentalists came to power, they've been opposing Israel and the United States for a long time. But this conversation is not just based off Trump bombing Iran. This is Israel stand as an outpost of Western imperialism in that region. Israel have been used to assassinate any opposition figure in that region to Western domination. And Iran stands as a threatening force for U.S. hegemony in that region, for Western hegemony in that region. As you see, when Israel attacked Iran, Iran was condemned. Israel, the one who attacked Iran facility, nuclear facility, with preemptive strike against international norms and rules. Bombing nuclear facility against the IAEA. Iran is a signatory of the NPT. This is very confusing. The American intelligence agency Iran is not producing no nuclear weapon at this current time. Since 2003, Iran hasn't been in the process of producing nuclear weapons. So it's not just about the nuclear weapon. It's about regime change. The U.S. and Israel want regime change. The Ayatollahs have been ruling Iran since 1979. They want to get back into the Iranian market. They want access to that oil. They want to get back into the Iranian market. Because when the Shah was in power, the U.S. and the West had good relation with Iran. Since Ayatollah came to power, it keep U.S. private company out of Iran. They can't tap into the oil wealth. So that's what the problem is. It's economics. It's economic as well as, so-called nuclear. But it's not about nuclear. Israel is a nuclear state. The United States is a nuclear state. On the shore, the U.S. helped Iran build its nuclear facility, its nuclear program. So it's not about nuclear technology. It's about regime change. Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli prime minister, who is currently warranted by the ICC for war crimes, for the crimes against humanity that he has committed in Gaza. He is driving force for this war. AIPAC in the United States, the American Israeli Public Affairs Committee, they are driving force for the war with Iran. The neoconservatives are driving force for this war with Iran. Finally, since 1979, no U.S. president have confronted Iran in this way. This potentially will lead the Iranian people to develop, the Iranian regime to develop a nuclear weapon, because nuclear weapon presents and prevent deterrent. Nuclear proliferation now in the Middle East is going to be feasible because states such as Turkey, even Saudi Arabia, at some point in time, the West always come and backdoor you. They backdoor Gaddafi, they backdoor Saddam Hussein. They came and got Bashar Assad. Now they are knocking on the door of Iran. Nuclear proliferation is going to rise in that region. But you got to look at this conflict from a historical point of view. Since 1953 up to 1979 to 2025, the United States wanted to get back into Iran since 1979. Since the Ayatollahs took over, since the Islamic Revolution took over, they wanted to dispose this regime. They want to dispose the regime. It's not about the nuclear ability. The nuclear ability is additional. But they want this regime pose a huge obstacle to Israel's cellular colony project in that region. It posed a huge obstacle to U.S. imperialism in that region. Iran posed that threat because she act as the pushback. Iran act as the pushback for U.S. and Israel dominating that region, that rich oil region. So now we are heading to a very difficult situation. How will the Iranian respond to this bombing of his nuclear facility? How will the Iranian people respond to this shock? But this been a long ongoing conflict. Private capital want to get back into Iranian market. Western businesses want to get back into the Iranian market. They want access to the resources. They want access to the market. Overthrowing the Iranian Ayatollahs and the religious Islamic theocracy, overthrowing them and liberalizing the economy and allowing U.S., British, Israeli, allowing Western access back to Iran. That's what they want, because Iran is a very rich country. They are under dire sanctions right now. That's why they can't grow into a first world country, because they are under dire sanctions. They want access to that market. Donald J. Trump, I believe, from his donors such as the Shedderson family, the Addison family. Sheldon Addison, he's dead now, but his wife supported Trump with over $100 million. Many of Trump's donors are hardcore Zionists. They want the fall of the Iranian regime. And I believe Trump believes in his mind he is the one to overthrow the Ayatollahs and bring them down to their knees. So this is a start. If Iran retaliates and bomb U.S. bases in our region, all hell is finna break loose. But Iran also is not just going to sit down and let the United States just bomb them like that. They're going to retaliate. Iran can't compete with the United States directly, but asymmetrically, Iran can pose a lot of hell to the United States and Israel with its proxies in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in Yemen, Hamas in Gaza, some militia still in Syria. Iran posed a pushback against U.S. imperialism, against the cellular colony project, against Israel domination.